Welcome and good morning. I'm Keith Reynolds, your host of Morning Coffee. I know everybody was expecting Charlene this morning, but Char's going to come in next Friday. She's going to start next Friday. She has been slammed over at QVC. She's been doing some work over there, so shout out to Char. So we'll see her next week. Definitely, she'll be back and to start her year or her portion of the year off at Radio Vision. But today I wanted to, we're going to start off the morning with keeping with yesterday's theme, kind of. We're going to stay with the health industry. We've brought on Brian Kane from Evolution Fitness. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks for having me.
And for you listeners and viewers out there, I couldn't mess this name up. You know, if you watched yesterday, I just couldn't do it. But Kane, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So, Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little bit, I know it's kind of a fitness boutique, but kind of tell us, how you got into fitness world.
Okay, yeah, well, I was an athlete growing up for the majority of my life. I played pretty much all sports. And, being involved in athletics, you have injuries. And unfortunately, I was someone that was a little bit more injury prone, and throughout that process of being injured and spending time in the athletic training room and things like that, I started to recognize that fitness conditioning is really essential to my performance and being able to maintain my health and wellness as well.
Okay, so now how long have you been doing this? How long have you been in business?
I've been in business. We started about 5 years ago. We've been open for 5 years, and but I started training in 2001.
Training.
Yeah,
Okay.
training as a fitness professional. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know, but the viewers don't know. But now you work with your wife.
Yes, my wife Danielle and I own the facility, and yeah, it's an awesome experience. She'd probably kill me if I didn't mention her, but yeah.
Or you're not smiling when you're mentioning that she's your partner.
Exactly. But yeah, we work great together. She's a really integral part of the business side of our company. She really holds the nuts and bolts together when it comes to scheduling and the overall layout of the business side. Yeah.
The structure of it.
Yeah.
You know what? I get that because my wife helps me too.
That's great.
They create a structure for us.
Yes.
That's good. That's good
Absolutely.
stuff. So, what kind of inspired you? I mean, I know you said you were an athlete and everything. Is there anybody that inspired you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Don't say Gene Simmons or whatever it is.
No.
Okay.
Actually, when I was in high school, my mother had a heart attack, like right in front of me, and that really, set deep into me and made me realize that I want to help people. And
Right.
she was somebody that I'm the youngest of 8 kids, and
What?
she's had a lot in her life, and I think things with diet and exercise really caught up for her, and it wasn't something that she ever participated in. And knowing that I was involved in athletics and I saw the benefits of the other healthy aspects that you get from fitness, not only on the outside but also on the inside, it really inspired me to help other people.
Yeah, wow, because I got 6 kids, so it kind of dwarfed me a little. But you know what? Now, are any of your siblings in the sport?
Well, all my brothers and sisters definitely grew up playing sports. I'm the only one that kind of drifted specifically into athletics and fitness.
So you don't have the family coming in and working out with you?
Occasionally I do it, absolutely. Yeah, my mom has been coming pretty regularly, and my brother. The people that are local, my family's pretty spread out at this point. But yeah.
Okay. Wow, really, really interesting stuff. Because I know as a kid, I think the biggest thing is, as a kid we run and we're in gym every day, and for the most part, I think most of us maintain our weight and everything, and it's just when you get into your 20s, which you think like you're the most active, but that's where you really start to not work out every day, not run, not do pickup games of basketball, and that's where you really kind of gain.
Yeah.
I say weight.
Absolutely. There's definitely, typical highest activity level for the average person is in their college years. So, unfortunately, a lot of people develop bad habits in college too.
Right.
As we're growing up, nobody ever really teaches us how to eat or balance our nutrition appropriately. We've done gym class, but we've never really been taught how to actually move. Everybody knows how to run, but not very many people have had a running coach. So,
Right.
By having something structured for you, designed for your body specifically, you'll be able to kind of ward off those later life events of gaining weight or losing muscle mass or just overall increasing our risk for disease.
Is this, especially football players, they say that, they're healthy fat guys, like the linemen.
Yeah.
That can't be right, though.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A lot of these guys that, football is a very high impact sport. So,
Right.
they put a lot of wear and tear on the body. They're using their body as a weapon on a regular basis. So, unfortunately, underlying injuries that are, even small in nature, once you become less fit or your activity level drops, you lose some strength, those injuries start to surface more regularly. And, you could be pretty fit and healthy, but have some underlying stuff that once you have a little bit of weakness show up, those injuries will resurface.
So, let's talk a little bit about your business. Who is your niche market? Obviously, it should be everybody.
Yes.
Everybody should be health conscious and everything, but who do you see that's in front of you? Is it that fat guy like me after the holidays? Hey, Brian, I need to lose some weight. I ate too much during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, we get all walks of life, but our primary people that we find in our facility are business owners. Honestly,
That's good, though.
Yeah, it's definitely great. We find that they're people that are interested in helping other people. They're driven. They have a lifestyle that they like to maintain, an appearance they'd like to maintain. They know the benefits of working out. They want to be able to maintain their lifestyles for long periods of time. But we have all walks of life. Our typical client, I would say, is between the age of about 35 to 55, both men and women. And most of them are pretty high-level professionals and or just everyday people, and teachers and mothers and things along those lines.
So, because you got to, honestly, I feel if you're not healthy in body, you're not healthy in mind. I mean,
yes, absolutely.
I know, by working out, with the endorphins.
Oh, absolutely.
It just helps you think clear. Stress levels, I'm sure, help.
Absolutely. There's scientific research that shows out there that by working out on a regular basis, by changing or making modifications to your nutrition in the right direction, it prevents the process of aging.
Right.
There's a cell in our body known as mitochondria. Younger people have higher mitochondria density, and by working out, you can maintain or rebuild your mitochondria density, which actually slows down the aging process.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting stuff. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I want to start, get to the core of your business.
Absolutely.
What we do when we walk in and everything.
Absolutely.
We're going to be right back after this commercial break.
Choosing the right fence for your home or business is an important decision to make. Choose Anello Fence for peace of mind. Our family has manufactured and installed beautiful maintenance-free fence for over 50 years. We provide vinyl, aluminum, and wood fence in a wide variety of styles and colors, including chain link fence for commercial and residential. Call or visit our indoor showroom and ask for Steve Anello and see how 4 generations of combined experience mean that you'll get quality and service that can't be matched by any other fencing company, period. Call Anello Fence today for a free estimate.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. I'm here with my guest, Brian Kane from Evolution Fitness. Brian, right before the break, we were talking a little bit, and we said we wanted to come back and get into the nuts and bolts of your business. Kind of walk me through, I guess, the start-off process.
Yeah.
I walk in, hey, Brian, you know what? I want to get started. I want to do something.
Yeah,
What do we do?
Yeah, we get a lot. People that just walk in that are looking for a gym. We're not your typical gym. We aren't a big box gym where you have a lot of equipment and cardio machines. We have open space, and we have turf, kettlebells, battle ropes, medicine balls. But when you first come in, it's a very athletic feel in the building. We're going to immediately take you through a goal setting strategy session to kind of understand where you are.
No, let me interrupt you for 1 second.
Yep.
You said goal setting.
Yep.
Do you feel that, this is just your opinion, do you feel that the number one reason why people fail with workout routines is because their goals are too high and they fail at it?
Yeah. I mean,
they're not realistic.
yeah, some people definitely set up unrealistic goals for themselves. Fitness is a process. If you think about the time it took you to get out of shape, you want to think about the same amount of time to get back into shape.
Really?
So,
I mean, I've been doing it. I'm out of shape for 10 years now.
yeah, I mean, it's not going to take you that long. We can definitely accelerate the process. But it is something to keep in mind that you want to keep short-term, realistic goals, because that's going to keep you focused and driven to achieving those goals.
Okay, so
And
let's go back. Let's go back to we go in.
Yeah,
You set up
absolutely.
your goals and.
Yeah, so we go through your goal strategy session. We define your goal. From there, we're going to take you through an integrated kinetic chain assessment. We're going to evaluate each joint of your body to understand if it has changed its function or lost in motion or something along those lines. So if you have a history of ankle turns or ankle sprains, your ankle is now too loose. We need to restabilize that ankle by adding strength and stability to the muscles that control that joint. So we'll go through the integrated kinetic chain assessment, identify any immobilities or instabilities in any of your joints. Then we're going to take you through a body blueprint, which is a postural analysis. Get a bunch of different angles of your body so you can see how your body's changing with your program. And then we take you through a functional movement screen, which is a basic movement screen of our natural movement patterns that every human has to be able to perform in order to become ambulatory people. It's a developmental process from when we're born. So we're going to categorize those movements if they've changed over your time through injury or disuse or overuse. So once we get a baseline understanding of your body, how it's built, and how it's moving at this point in time, we can then backtrack and set a benchmark to or goal for you to achieve to break through to the next level of movement. So if you're somebody that has a squat pattern that you can't fully squat into a deep position like you would see like an infant or a child be able to squat down, we know that there's some type of instability in your body. So we need to restabilize that body by adding strength to your core, adding mobility to your ankles and your hips, adding stability to your knees. And so we take you through this evaluation process so we get a great understanding of how your body's moving. From that point, we're going to design you a fitness program. In that program, we include corrective exercise. If you've had an injury or recovering or rehabilitating an injury, if you've been released from physical therapy, we develop a corrective exercise strategy to rebalance your movement. From there, we're going to take you into what we call a ramping protocol, which is our range of motion, activation, and movement preparation. It's basically a very specific warm-up designed on how your body's moving and the goals that we're trying to get you to be able to get to the next level of your program. So through that ramping protocol, we're addressing all the major joints of the body, warming up the system, turning on the metabolic system. From there, we do core conditioning. We're going to go immediately after your core stability and your strength in your core because we know that area of our body helps to control the other major joints of your body. So by waking up your core, you can actually activate other muscles in your body to make them aware that you're about to do some form of performance.
Gotcha.
After you go through your core, we'll go into some form of either power development and elasticity training, depending on where you are with your fitness level, and or coordination training, combination training, teaching your upper and lower body how to work together. What we find is through the process of just the fitness industry and Arnold Schwarzenegger, a lot of people have taught their body how to move in isolated parts. So just using their bicep or just using a tricep. Your elbow needs to be controlled by all the muscles in your arm. So we teach the upper and lower body how to work together, so we're not individualizing any muscles or body parts because we're built to move as a unit. So from the combination training, we get into the meat and potatoes of your program, your actual resistance training exercises. We typically will do circuit training. We usually pick 3 to 5 exercises depending on the person. Do these exercises in a circuit to really ramp up the metabolic system, wake up the cardiovascular system, and maximize every minute and every rep of your program. After that, we go into your energy system training, which is what typical people call cardiovascular training. We utilize ropes, kettlebells, medicine balls, just body. We do drive, sled, running, different varieties of agility drills, really to teach your body how to move as the machine rather than, getting on a treadmill and kind of walking in one plane of motion. Our body's built to not just go straight forward, but side to side. It's built to rotate. So we need to hit all those planes of motion to really maximize how your body's going to respond to the exercise program.
Now, let me ask you a question. I mean, like I haven't worked out or walked in probably a couple of years.
Okay.
But someone that just really doesn't know, you're talking about, kind of measuring them by stretching and all this other type of stuff. But how do you how do you know to start someone like me that hasn't really worked out? I really obviously have to start out slow. So
Yeah.
like, so I don't overexert myself and end up on the floor,
Yeah.
passing out, having a heart attack, something like that. How do you
Absolutely.
measure all that?
Yeah, I mean, we take you through an extensive health history, so we really understand your past history of injury, if there's any predisposing factors that may, you know, limit your ability to perform in your first start. What we do great at our facilities, we meet people where they are. So
I like
we're,
that saying.
yeah, we're gonna meet you where you are. We're gonna address your movement, because movement is the foundation of exercise. So we call it the functional pyramid. Our foundation of movement is where everything starts. If something's not moving right, you can't add fitness on top of it. You need to reestablish the movement first and then add the fitness. So once we can find out where you are on the scale of movement, then we can identify the exact exercise that's going to work best for you, that's not going to challenge you or hurt your joints, not challenge, will challenge you, but not put you outside of your ability or your capacity to perform. So we pick the appropriate exercise for you, and then every couple of weeks we're checking in, we're adjusting that exercise, making sure it's still continuing to challenge you, but keep you at a level where we're not going to overexceed your capacity. We don't want to create failure for anybody in the fitness industry.
Right.
It's about achieving and accomplishing. That's really how you're going to be driven to achieve your goals.
Okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I want to come back and talk a little bit more about, the nuts and bolts of business,
Absolutely.
your business.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back after this 90-second commercial.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman
Hi.
will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds. You're watching Morning Coffee. For you viewers and listeners that are just coming back on board or just tuning in to us, I'm here with Brian Kane from Evolution Fitness, and Brian has been giving us the kind of rundown of his industry. And right before break, we were talking about the nuts and bolts of your business.
Yes.
I think as us in society, there's things that we get set in our minds with certain things. And
Absolutely.
honestly, in your industry, I think people kind of think like, okay, I'm going to go and I want my body to look different.
Yeah.
Okay, so they say, Bri, after 2 weeks, I want to at least lose 2 inches on my waist. And that's what you hear in all these TV commercials and stuff, everything. But
Yeah.
that's not exactly the way it works.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely create a significant change in your body and body size and shape in a fairly short period of time if you're doing it correctly.
Right.
We talked about a little bit before just the magic bullet theory. Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, it wasn't.
So you want to take into consideration that it's going to take some time. You're going to go through a little bit of muscle soreness when you first start, but when we talk about how to change your body composition, your appearance, we have what we call the hierarchy for fat loss. So when we talk about the hierarchy for fat loss, we have our top 3 rules for fat loss and changing your body composition. Rule number 1 is nutrition. You have to have a sound and balanced nutrition plan. In our facility, we do have a holistic nutrition coach and a sports nutritionist on staff. Rule number 2 is see rule number 1. It's that important. Nutrition is really, abs are made in your kitchen. So
Okay.
nutrition is that essential. When it comes to changing your body composition beyond that, gaining strength, resistance training is where the secret lies. You have to be moving some form of weights. You have to be doing some form of resistance training to stimulate the metabolic active tissue in your body, your muscular system, to change or to burn body fat. Typically we say rule number 4 would be metabolic resistance training. Doing something at a little bit higher tempo, still using resistance. When it comes down the line, if you have more than 4 hours a week to be doing some type of training, then you would start to introduce some form of cardiovascular training. We know that resistance training is how you're going to change your body and your body composition, how you're going to lose some of that belly fat, and how you're going to change your appearance when you see yourself in the mirror. So Cardiovascular stuff is more for your cardiovascular system, your heart, your lungs, your vascular system. We understand that's extremely important, but you're going to have to spend a whole lot of time riding on a piece of equipment, a cardio piece of equipment, where you're just not get. Most people don't have that kind of time to get the results that are going to come from that.
So let me ask you this thing. You know, your body got a lot of issues going on. Okay, obviously your mind. You have to be. You know, your mindset has to be right in order to come in and see you. You know, so if you're not serious about getting healthy, I wouldn't go in and see Brian yet. But you know, once you know their mindset, what has to get in place first? You know what I mean? Like, is it your cardio? Your cardio is the most important to make everything else work?
No, not really. I mean, everybody has a cardiovascular system. So when people talk about cardio, we kind of think of, you know, running or something along those lines, but that is something known as aerobics. Cardio has been categorized into something that has been spread out so broad spectrum that it's lost its meaning almost. So there's aerobic training and anaerobic training. We know that anaerobic training, where you're using your muscular system a little bit more explosively, doing jumping jacks or burpees along those lines, we know that that burns almost 900% more fat calories than cardio alone. We're just doing aerobic training for steady state cardio. By stimulating that muscle mass, that's the system that's burning the body fat. Your aerobic system can only do so much. And with the cardiovascular, you can only go so far for so long before you have to either go faster or for longer. So our body becomes efficient with cardio, which is not a good thing when it comes to getting results from your fitness program. Efficiency makes you be able to do more work with less calories versus, you know, what they call muscle confusion, where you're changing how your body's using different muscle fibers, using different muscle groups. Your body's always going to be having to utilize the quickest energy source.
So in other words, you could have a great cardiovascular system. You know what I mean? But if you're like your muscles, your joints, and everything don't
working great,
there's no reason. So gotcha.
Most
That's pretty cool.
Everybody's built to walk. We're all built to walk and run and those things. So we become very efficient at that. That's the least resistance you could possibly get is your own body weight traveling just by walking. Whereas, you know, doing some type of pulling motion where instead of like doing a bicep curl, you could do a chin up where you're using a lot more muscle activity, more larger muscle groups. You're going to get more out of that than, you know, doing a couple sets of bicep curls.
You know, it's funny, like, I know, like, it's weird, like, you see, in the movies, you see, like, all these prison movies, right? And you see these guys, and they're, you know, obviously not allowed to have weights out there and stuff like that, but they're, like, you know, big as a house. And that's because a lot of them are using their own body weight to do things. You know what I mean? That's kind of what you're saying. I mean, you know.
You can only maybe curl 20, 30 pounds, but if you're doing a chin-up, you have to lift your entire body weight with that same muscle group. So when the system is a closed chain where you're connected to something and pulling yourself rather than trying to move something externally, the entire muscular system kicks on to work as a unit rather than trying to move something where you're pulling or dragging. Now it's just one muscle or just a small muscle group trying to activate. You get more out of the big bang moves with all.
Okay. Now, look, ergonomics plays a lot in our society. I mean, let's put it this way. If you're not in your industry where you're getting a workout, you know, you're usually, people are sitting behind desks and everything. You know, can you give our listeners and viewers maybe like a tip? If you're a woman or a man that is behind a desk all day, you know, during your break, don't just go run and grab some food. Can you give them a little exercise they could do?
Yeah, absolutely. A couple recommendations that I always give to people that are sitting behind a desk or just, you know, road warriors that are in the car a lot. Most of those people have some form of back pain. So one great thing that you can do just on a regular basis, it only takes just a few seconds, is adjust the height of your seat throughout the day. If you have an adjustable seat, you want to change the height of your seat throughout the day, because while you're sitting in one spot, your core turns off, so your spinal column has to take the load. So if you're always riding on the same spot on your back, if your seat's always at the same height, you're always stressing the same level of your back, you start to wear that area out. So just by changing your seat height a few times throughout your day is going to make a big difference in your back pain. A A couple very important things also. We find that the majority of people that come through our doors have weakened upper back muscles and tight chest muscles from being in front of computers and typing, being on their phones. So it's very important. What I would recommend, is it okay if I stand up?
Sure.
Throughout the day, you want to stand up, lace your fingers together behind your back, open your chest up, keep your chin up, drop your shoulders down. You want to think about your shoulder blades coming down and together. That's going to help to open up your chest, kind of reset your shoulder blades so your body is more upright, because our posture is really what affects a lot of our muscular system. Keeps all the nervous system open and active to the rest of your body. So by just establishing basic posture stretch like that can really change the stress headaches that people get, the fatigue that they have throughout the day. If you have a few minutes on your coffee break, it's way better to get outside and get your system, hit a couple up and down the stairs at work if you have some stairs there, to wake up your anaerobic system, to wake up your cardiovascular system, to wake up your muscular system. By just getting a few minutes of stimulation, it's gonna, that accumulative effect of that over time, it's gonna slow down the negative effects that you have from being so still or stagnant throughout the day.
Really good. That's some really good information. So Brian, tell our listeners and viewers out there where they can find you.
Yeah, we are located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey on Route 70. We're in Tuscany Marketplace. We're in the back of the unit, so we don't have a big sign out front, but we do have a little sign. We're a little bit off the road frontage. But you can also find us on the web at evolutionfitnessnow.com, NOW.com. And we have, you know, a YouTube channel out there you can look us up on. And yeah, really the web is probably the best place.
Now,
to
do you
connect.
do you give evaluations?
Yes.
So they can come in
Yes.
and give evaluations?
Anybody's welcome to come in, go through our body blueprint, our integrated kinetic chain assessment, and a functional movement screen so we can identify exactly where you are so we can get you to your goals.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on
Yeah,
Morning
thank you, sir.
Coffee.
Absolutely.
You know, for you listeners and viewers out there, please check Brian out. And you know what? Get healthy. I mean, it's a great time of the year. Everybody always has their New Year's resolutions right now, so
It's never too late.
it's never too late, absolutely. And you want to get ready for that summer body, you know.
Yep.
So we're going to be right back after this commercial break, and we'll be there with our next guest. Hopefully, I won't have any injuries from our beekeeper this morning. So
Good luck with
yeah, you know. So we'll be right back.
Thank you.